Okay, Daniel, you got to bump us into the pre-show, but the pre-show doesn't have anything next to it.
Huh.
So literally just a blank bullet
do
point.
it live.
Doing it live. Daniel, do you have a pre-show?
Haven't even thought about it.
Haven't even thought about it. Oh boy, have you
No
started?
pre-show.
Have you started packing for NAB?
Not really. I've thought about what camera stuff I'm going to take, which is obviously the important part. But
I guess this episode probably comes out after NAB.
Yeah, it probably does. But
even still,
yeah, broke the fourth wall there.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Yeah, it is what I mean. It's the pre-show. Anything goes in the pre-show.
Anything goes in the pre-show. No wall breaking after the pre-show, but
yes,
here now in the pre-show.
Yeah,
all the walls are being broken.
All the walls are being broken.
I'm just more wondering. Like, I mean, I've never been to NAB. Like, how many cameras is too many cameras to bring?
I mean, if you're gonna go anywhere where people won't judge you for having lots of cameras, I feel like NAB is that place.
Like, I'm gonna bring probably the XH2S, but not the XT5.
I feel like bringing both of those would be a little too much overlap.
Be a little much.
Like, I can't imagine when you would be using one over the other.
Right. So I like the XT5 quite a bit. So probably an XH2S situation. However, I also feel obligated to bring the Cam Snap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the people definitely want you to be capturing NAB on the Cam Snap.
But I also have some unused film rolls that I got to get through.
And shooting film there could be good.
But I don't love going through airport security.
Yeah.
Though, like, I have to take like 70 pictures on my Pentax 17 on this black and white roll that I put in there just to test it after I fixed the lens, and I just haven't been shooting on it. And I've been leaving that camera in my car here and there. And so the film is probably just totally trashed. So what's also a couple x-rays going to do? Yeah. So I feel like Camp Snap and the Pentax 17 and the XH2S, but then I'm also going to bring the Osmo just to get some regular video. So that's 4 cameras.
The Osmo is it doesn't count as much because it's pocket size.
Well, sure. But they're still technically still 4 cameras.
I mean, are you going to be carrying all that stuff with you every day, you think?
No. I mean, I'll probably choose between the Pentax and the Camp Snap for funsies.
Like main camera, auxiliary camera, video camera.
Yeah. Main camera, fun camera, and video camera.
Yeah.
I'm going to make our pack mule hold the Osmo.
Yep. Your person following you around with the sole purpose of filming you. Yeah.
Did I get them all? So 4. Like that's like totally acceptable.
Seems like a reasonable set.
I don't really need to bring more than that.
Yeah, probably not.
Unless what are you gonna bring?
I'm gonna take the S1R2 and probably the GR4.
And
I don't see why I need any more than that.
You don't want to bring your little action pod?
I mean, I guess I could, but I don't know when I would shoot on it.
You would give it to me, and I would just attach it to my body.
So that you can have 5 cameras.
Look, if I'm going to be somewhere where no one's going to judge me for attaching cameras to myself, it's NAB.
You do make a good point. Maybe it's worth bringing.
I'll put it on my hat.
Honestly, the problem with that thing would be the battery wouldn't last long enough.
No,
I guess you'd have to pick certain times to put it on or not.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like I wouldn't actually shoot with it. Or maybe I would.
I think if you had the Osmo, that would get you most of what you're looking for.
I think so too.
I feel like where the Insta360 comes into play is situations where you want to be kind of low profile with filming. Like I wore it some in Europe because I could kind of clip it on my shirt and it didn't really stand out. But at a place like NAB, you can pretty easily just have a big camera in your hand and nobody's going to think that's out of place.
Yeah, that's very true.
Which is, like I'd rather just shoot on the bigger camera.
Very true. This is probably a situation where I should only bring zooms. Like the 16 to 55 and the XH2S is going to be the workhorse. I don't really need anything else.
It's probably true.
Except the 23 1.4.
Of course.
And the 75 or maybe the 56. That's just a bunch of lenses in the same range.
Yeah. I kind of figured I'd bring a prime just in case. Like I don't think it's going to be dark in there or anything, but just in case there's situations where it's darker or maybe if we're walking around not at the show, like in the evening or something, it could be fun to get some shots on a prime.
Well,
so
for sure.
Figured I'd bring one just in case.
I don't need to emergency buy the 70-300 before this, right?
That feels like probably not the right lens for this.
Well, I mean, I'm going to buy it anyway.
Yeah.
Because I got to buy it for the trip to Alaska.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know that you would need to take that on this trip because it just doesn't seem like you'd be needing to shoot stuff that far away.
You don't think I'm going to need to shoot anything at 300 millimeter?
I mean, maybe if you get tired of walking around, you can just stand in one spot.
Ooh, if there's like an overlooking point, I can just hit all the booths without moving.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Genius. That's the NAB hack. Sounds like we got it all sorted out.
Yeah, easy. Now we just have to pack like everything that's not cameras.
Well, the problem with packing cameras is that I start packing them, and then I'm like, I could fit this in here. Yeah.
And you start adding more and more stuff. What are you going to use to take notes if you're talking to people?
Notes?
Or are you not going to take notes?
Probably my phone.
Just vibe it.
Yeah, just like
I was curious if you can bring your iPad with you and
not into the show.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. iPad's so huge. Maybe if I had one of those like cute little remarkable, like one-handed remarkable things,
that'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
If I actually had a place in my life for that, I would totally buy one. The small one, it'd be very fun.
Yeah. I've thought about that too, like for work and stuff. Just be able to take notes, but they're pretty expensive.
Yeah, it's. I mean, at that point, it'd be one of those things where I would need to proof of concept it by using a piece of paper.
Yeah,
like have a pen,
like a
one of those field note things.
Yeah, and it's like if you're not using that, then you're probably not going to use the digital one.
Do you think that if I brought a little field note thing, I would look more official?
100%. Absolutely, you would.
All right.
I'm just saying, you might be talking to some of those people at NAB, and they might just start throwing specs at you. And what are you going to do if you don't have any way to write it down?
Memorize them instantly, Daniel. Obviously. What am I not going? What am I going to do? Not memorize them as they say them at me? What do you take me for? I think I'm going to need to get one of these. Let's see, 48-page memo book.
Ooh.
3 set of 3 pitch black. I'm going to have to buy some of these little field notes, Daniel.
How much are the little remarkable tablet?
The little remarkable tablet? It's like $300.
I thought they were more than that.
I mean, the bigger ones are $450 for the Remarkable Paper Pro Move.
Paper Pro Move.
$450.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot more than $15 for a pack of 3 field notes on Amazon.
Sure is.
I'm gonna buy this little 3x5 field note thing.
Do you think if Apple was to come out with a folding phone that the inside would support the pencil?
No, I don't think it would. I would want it to so desperately, but there's just no way.
Yeah,
the pencil has to like pair in a certain way, and it just kind of pairs to its device.
Yeah, you mean like with the magnetic thing on the side?
Well, it pairs via Bluetooth. By once you like click the magnet on, and so you can't like take your pencil and then just go start drawing on someone else's iPad. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, surely they could never. They don't have the technology to enable such a thing.
I mean, if similar to how the H1 chip is smart to jump between, maybe they come out with a Pencil Pro Max.
Pencil Pro Max.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then that one would do it.
Well, maybe it'd be a smaller pencil actually, because maybe you want to store it on.
If they went full Samsung and you could like
stylus in there,
pop it out, I would be so in. Be 100% in.
I mean, it'd be pretty cool.
They're not gonna do it. There's no way. There's no way they do that.
It's pretty unlikely.
Still be cool.
But I'd be here for it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Have you seen, while we're talking about remarkable tablets and phones, have you seen the tiny little e-reader that is small enough that it mag-safes to the back of an iPhone? There's like a little e-ink reader that is that size.
It sounds familiar, and yet at the same time, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I can't remember what it's called, but there's an e-ink reader that is that size.
I mean, that sounds perfect.
Because basically the idea is that you can.
Oh my gosh! It's only like $70.
Yeah, and so if you want to read on the go.
Oh yes, of course, the XTE ink
Yeah.
X4 e-reader.
Yeah. Obviously.
Obviously, that thing. Oh, of course, I can't read it on The Verge because I don't subscribe. X4 XTE. Yep.
It just looks great.
Oh my gosh, and it's only $70.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh boy.
And on their website, they've got some little coupon that says 15% off for World Book Day.
Ooh, when's World Book Day? Redefining portable. I want this. I want this so bad now. What would I even do with it? Daniel, I don't read that much. It's so cute. I've long thought the concept of a book's palma was not unappealing.
A what? What are you saying?
A book's palma. Are you not up to speed on the book's palma, Daniel?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
It's a slightly larger e-reader.
Imagine a phone, maybe like your phone that you have now, but if it didn't have any phone capabilities and was an e-ink reader.
I see. Yeah, that does look pretty small.
It's very slick.
Kind of cool.
It's like the future.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
It's the future, Daniel.
I'm way more interested in the one that I just told you about because it's much cheaper. This one's $400.
Mm-hmm. Well, that one's just like it's a device. I don't even know how this XE thing works, other than I MagSafe it to the back of my phone, which is awesome.
Yeah, just have it with you all the time.
Why does it have pogo pins?
Maybe they have a case or something for it.
Yeah, I'm really into this. I want it. want. I'm gonna buy one for everybody. This is gonna be like my Christmas gift.
Stocking stuffer.
Yep. I was like, what the? I'm like, you know you want it. You know this is cool. Super neat. All right, Daniel. Now that we've learned something new, I think we can move on to the show.
Welcome back to the Camera Gear Podcast. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Lucas.
And we're here today to talk about the gear, software, and techniques we use to shoot photos and video.
I'm 100% buying this.
I mean, you might as well, right? Like impulse buy territory.
So hard. They're like, oh, the downside is that you have to side load the books. Okay, whatever.
Sounds easy.
Tell me more about your downsides. Freaking awesome. Okay. It has gotten hard. No, I won't talk about that. Okay. Because it's illegal. Daniel, I have started the beginning stages of my research process into finding the perfect 3D printed medium format camera.
Because we've talked about this, where that is a thing you can do, and I've told you that I will print you one if you find the design, but you have to find the design first.
It's the Dora Goodman one. You're going to print me that one. I've already selected it, and we're just going to move ahead. But there's kind of a lot to this, and a lot of things that I didn't think about in the concept of 3D printing. And now I think that the 3D printed medium format camera, whilst will be a pure, blissful experience for me with no downsides, it will just be 100% joy. I think that it will not fully scratch the itch of getting a medium format film camera.
You have to explain why.
Because it's just not the same.
I mean, I guess it's not doesn't have the smarts that a real medium format camera would have, or
smarts, maybe not the not the right
word.
Word I would have chosen, but yeah, it doesn't have it just doesn't smart in the right way. So one of the big things with printing a medium format camera is I have yet to find a design that includes a mirror, which makes sense.
Can't 3D print a mirror.
True. I mean, you could. I'm sure that you could buy a mirror, and glue it to some sort of 3D printed or wedge it or whatever.
Yeah, that's probably not the reason that there's not one in the mirror.
I would assume that the mechanism to drop a mirror is maybe complicated, and I've yet to find a medium format printed camera solution. Which, if I do, we're printing that one instead. That includes a mirror. And when I imagine myself, when I like picture myself using a medium format film camera, it's with a waist level viewfinder. And I want to like hold it like it's a baby chicken, and then I want to like peer down into the waist level viewfinder, and then take my picture.
Yep. Which is good because if you do that, it puts it at about eye level of a normal person.
Ha 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 ha. True. That's how I want to use it. And
you're not going to get that feeling with this 3D printed one.
Because there's no mirror inside, there's no viewfinder for these 3D printed cameras.
Yeah, I looked at one of the links you have here, and there's like a crosshair on top of it or something.
Right. So there's a few different solutions that people have come up with. One solution is you take off the film back, because the medium format 3D printed cameras I'm looking at are of the modular type design.
Mm-hmm.
There are some that are not modular type designs, which are more of like a traditional camera body style. But if you know anything about 345 or 645, 67, 68, whatever, any of those like modular style film medium format cameras, you know, they come with the body, and then the viewfinder is like you can make it an eye level viewfinder, you can make it a waist level viewfinder, you can take the viewfinder off entirely. Then you get to put your lens on it, and then you get to put the back on it. And some medium format cameras you could swap between, like 645 or 67 or 68, maybe not 68, but or 69. Yeah, you could switch out the backs or whatever, and it's kind of like this system. And with these 3D printed, when they're mimicking that style, there are some where you take the film back off, and then you mount a screen on it.
Okay.
And so
is it digital or
no? It's just a viewing screen.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So it accepts the light coming in from the lens onto it, and then disperses it in a way where you can see.
But you're not taking a photo.
It's the same mechanism as what exists on a mirrored camera, where the light hits the mirror and then projects up to the waist level viewfinder. There's like a glass or plastic etched screen, not a digital screen. Like it's a physical, optical piece that allows you to see what the photo is going to look like. And so what you do is you slide this in. You see your image through the lens, through the back of the camera. You frame everything. You set your focus. You take the screen.
You have it on tripod when you're doing this?
Sure, probably. Almost 100%. You take the screen off, you put the film back in, then you expose your photo.
Wow, that sounds terrible.
Sounds like a lot of freaking work, Daniel.
Yeah, it does. Not appealing.
No. Other things that people do is they put here's the lens I'm going to do, and then they make up a plastic frame or a target or something that sits on top of the camera, and then you kind of look through it.
Yeah, like a crosshair, like a sight on a gun or something.
And then you understand that's your frame. And then you use the concept of range finding to take the picture. And what some people will do is they will buy these cute little, and I have it linked a little farther down here, well, they'll buy these cute little DeWalt laser distance measurer things, and they'll literally laser measure to their subject, set their focus on their lens using the lines on the lens. And then that's how you focus it.
Also sounds like a pain.
But it sounds way more fun to have a laser on the camera. And so I think for me, that's the final solution of the 3D printed cameras. I'm going to mount a laser on it and then kind of frame it, laser measure, and then set the focus and shoot the picture.
It's definitely not going to be as quick of an experience as using like a fully featured medium format camera with a mirror. But it might be fun in its own way.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's like the tiniest, cutest little laser too. It's super fun. The other thing is you just shoot super narrow apertures.
And then just vibe it on the framing.
Pretty much. Yeah. You treat it like a point and shoot. You hopefully, you're going to need to shoot narrow anyway.
Yeah.
Because there's so much light. It's medium format. So the viewfinder thing is kind of a problem. It's not a problem, but it's tricky.
Yeah, it's going to affect the experience for sure.
Yeah, definitely. There are some solutions out there. I have this link in here to this Panomicron thulium 6x9, which I don't think is, the files aren't even available anymore. This was a 3D printable camera, Now it's not a 3D printable camera, but it was a rangefinder style. You could put the lenses on it, and then it had a optical viewfinder that you could frame up.
Yeah,
And like
I see that. Cool.
then you're not kind of just, oh, there's my framing, and then you just shoot. You still have to know the focal distance, so you can like manually focus or whatever without having the whole like dual lens focusing. You're still kind of just eyeballing it,
Right.
or guessing. Yeah, this is the biggest thing. This is like the biggest thing with these 3D printed cameras for me is viewfinders and finding a way to use it that is enjoyable.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like,
yeah, because a lot of these solutions just seem like you're going to find the picture you want to take, and you're going to spend like so much time getting all that stuff, your framing and your focus figured out that you're not. I mean, you're not capturing the decisive moment with that. That's for sure.
I mean, Daniel, you gotta read the book. Gotta read the book to know the decisive moment. Like, here's the frame. This is the image that I'm going to get. And I know what it is. I know what it's going to be. And then you set it up, and then you wait. And then you wait. You've already got the focus and everything. You just wait.
You're like waiting for the bird to land, waiting for the person to run into the frame, whatever.
And then when that moment happens, the decisive moment,
you're ready to pounce on it.
You take the picture.
Yeah.
You got to let the photos come to you. This just means you have to plan a little more.
I don't know. Do you think that's in your skill set? Planning your photos?
I think that if you're shooting on 120 film, that's going to end up costing like $2 a picture. Maybe slowing down is not the worst thing in the world.
That's true. Fair point.
Is planning a part of my photo strategy? No. No, Daniel, it's not.
You're finding the decisive moment when you're culling through 1,000 photos in Lightroom.
That was it. That was the one.
Yep.
Broken clock's right twice a day.
If you shoot a long enough burst, you'll get it.
Anyway, so got to overcome that, but we'll figure it out. The next one thing I didn't think about going into this was colors.
Like what color are you going to print the camera, or what color, like how the colors look through the film?
For some reason, it didn't occur to me that because we're 3D printing it, it could be any color.
Well, the outside can at least, right? Inside probably can't.
That was the other thing. Is somebody 3D printed one that was white and they had so much light bleed.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
And so the inside of the camera basically has to be black.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But the outside of the camera
could be anything you want it to be.
Maybe could be anything I want it to be.
You have to figure out how it would work to have a different colored inside and outside. That might get challenging.
I think it comes down to accessories. Like if you put, depending upon how many pieces I haven't gotten into all the details of how to assemble these things, but I mean, there's going to be a grip.
Yeah.
So the grip could be a fancy color or something. This viewfinder situation or whatever. Okay. Other things to decide is, well, I've already decided, but is how do we want to do the film? So the one that Dora Goodman has done, which hers seems to be kind of the most commercially available thing. Like you can just go buy it from her, or you can like for free download the plans and print the whole thing. But hers was originally designed around Mamiya press mount and I believe a 6.7 Mamiya back. And so with the Goodman solution, I have a few other options in here. You can do just the body, and then you can bring your own grip and lens and back and use an actual like Mamiya 6.7 film back. Since then, there is now a like film loader that's 3D printed.
So is that the back? Is the film loader the back?
Yeah, well, yeah. There is now a 3D printed back that you can use from Goodman that she's designed that is functional.
So which do you think is better there? Is it better to have like a fully 3D printed camera? Like does that kind of hit the spirit behind it better, or do you get enough advantages from using a production film back to make that worth it?
I think that if you're going to 3D print a camera, 3D print the camera.
Yeah, it's kind of what I think too.
The body part is like the cheapest part of a 3D camera, of a medium format camera. Like if I'm going to go start buying parts to build my own medium format camera, it's like the body piece that doesn't have any real technology in it except for the mirror is not expensive. It's like getting the viewfinder, getting the film back or digital back or whatever, and then the lens and all that.
Right.
So you're not really saving much at that point. It's like, do the whole thing. If this was a scaling up situation where you buy a Mamiya 6.7 back, then now you just need to find a body for it.
Right.
And then find the viewfinder that you want. And so this could be like if we print this one, I could then start upgrading it.
You can
to the point,
leapfrog your way into.
Yeah, kind of like start working my way up into building my own medium format camera that's of all camera parts, which could be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I bought a film back now. Oh, I bought a body. I don't know.
Yeah. Every week on this podcast, you just come back and tell us what camera part you've purchased.
The idea of being able to swap out parts on a camera seems really, really appealing to me.
Yeah, I think you would really enjoy that.
Oh, I'm testing out a new grip for my my Mamiya 6.7.
With 3D printing, you could even design your own.
Oh, man, so cool.
That's the dream.
So cool. This is like the more I get into it, more it feels like a camera nerd's like dream situation.
Yeah.
Okay, so body, back, viewfinder, lens, grip. Can 3D print all those but the lens. Most of the designs that I found use Mamiya press lenses, which are medium format lenses. There is a certain number of those. There's like a 50 millimeter 6.3, 65 6.3, 75 5.6, 90 5.3, 100 3.5, 100 2.8, 127 f 4.7, 150 5.6, and 250 f5.
That is quite a few choices. Are those pretty affordable?
Probably not. I don't know.
You haven't looked?
A few $100 or whatever.
Something to look up, maybe.
Yeah, I haven't like really dug too much into those. I think the 90 millimeter 3.5 is probably what I'm gonna want.
So what would that be in terms of like a full frame equivalent?
I'm looking this lens up. 100 and you can get 90 millimeter 3.5 C-Core lens for RB67 from KH for $189, and it's a bargain.
Yeah, but that price sounds about right.
Yeah.
So and shooting on a bargain lens for this type of camera, probably about right.
Yeah, definitely. So call it $200. If we're talking medium format on a 6.7, and like we'll talk about this a little more later, but it's not 6.7 is not 3x5. So if you're trying to consider it a full frame equivalent, a 35 millimeter by 36 millimeter by 24 millimeter is like a 3x2 aspect ratio. 6.7 is not a 3x2 aspect ratio. And so you kind of have to think about it as horizontal angle of view and not crop factor. But if you're trying to like do quick math, a 6.7 is about a 0.5.
Okay. So the 90 millimeters is about a 45 or a 50.
Yeah, it's about a 45.
So you get that natural view, that natural human perspective.
You get the compressed look of a 90 millimeter, which is like, that's pretty good portrait look.
Yeah.
But at the angle of a 45 millimeter, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool, Daniel. It's pretty cool.
I see the widest thing they have here is a 50, which would be real wide.
Yeah.
It'd be like 25.
Yeah, like a traditional wide angle. So I think for this, wider is probably better.
Yeah. Especially if you don't have a good viewfinder situation.
Yeah, and maybe I need to consider that when choosing a lens. Either way, I have scrolled past where our notes are. Scroll.
Man, 3.5 on medium format also is pretty shallow depth of field.
Yeah, it's like not quite 2.8. It's 1.7, 1.8. And that's pretty shallow.
Yeah.
There's no way I'd be able to focus
you wouldn't want to be shooting at 3.5 very often.
Yeah. The 65, 6.3 may actually be a better choice for me. That's maybe closer
at least
to...
maybe it's like a starter lens or something.
Yeah, that's closer to like 30 to 35 millimeter. So that maybe actually be better. So maybe we shoot for that one. And that's the other thing though, is like we print this thing, buy a couple lenses.
Yeah.
And I buy a film back, and then I'm like already almost to a full-on medium format camera.
That really might be something to consider with those lenses, though, is what lens mount kind of gives you some good upgrade potential if you wanted to buy an actual body later.
It seems like there may be some of these that use M42 screw mounts, but that's a 35 millimeter mount.
Yeah, because you have the Helios lens in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for
but
sure.
That's a full frame lens.
It seems like most of these 3D printed cameras that I'm finding are Mamiya press.
It's probably,
lenses.
I mean, some of that's probably because of the, you have to be able to 3D print the lens mount.
Right.
And only certain things are going to work with that. Be hard to precisely print something like a.
Yeah, I don't know how good
pinhole.
a bayonet mount would be if it was made out of 3D printed plastic.
Yeah.
The bayonet parts would have to be so thin.
Mm-hmm.
It would probably risk ripping it off.
Right.
I don't quite know how a press lens adheres.
Sounds like it just pushes in there.
It does sound like it just pushes in there.
Which you can do that with 3D printing.
And it looks like it just pushes in there too. And then maybe you twist it to lock it in. So, anywho, if I'm investing in my Mamiya lenses, it just gets me closer.
Yeah.
Right.
Makes sense.
So those are lens options. I can grow into getting like a 6-7 back or something.
Mm-hmm.
The Goodman ones, to me, seems like a pretty good option because it has this like scalability to it.
Yeah.
It has a pretty good community around it.
That sounds like the files are free. It's a plus.
Mm-hmm. Files are free, or you can like donate or buy them or whatever. So that's all pretty good. And I think that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to send you files and we're going to print this bad boy.
Sounds
it's going to
good.
be freaking awesome.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
All right. The next one that I found here was the Cameradactyl Homunculus.
That's a heck of a name.
It sure is. And this is a 6.9 3D printed camera. This one's kind of super fun looking, but it didn't make my list because I think you just have to buy it from them. And I think you have to use an RB67, which is the Mamiya 6.7 camera. You have to use a film back.
Oh, I really like the colors in that one though. Maybe some inspiration for whatever you're picking.
This one's pretty neat in how compact it is.
Yeah.
It's not super huge, and they have fun grips and like a few different viewfinder options. It's a cool little camera, and it's like $155. But the whole point of doing this is I don't want to buy one. I want to print one, and by I mean make you do it. So not having be able to like get their files.
You can. It's just it costs quite a bit.
Yeah.
The files are $55. You can buy them.
That's not bad. But this one I have to then go get a film back. Which,
yeah, that is a downside.
It's a downside probably in so much that the 3D printed film backs probably are all terrible. Like we'll see how good the Goodman one is, but
well, the good thing is, honestly, I mean, I don't know what the installation or assembly process for these things is like, but
complicated.
3D printing parts like this is not expensive. I mean, if you don't have a 3D printer, it would be, but if you own a 3D printer, this is not like a lot of plastic, so it would be pretty reasonable to start with the one, and then if you wanted to try something else, as long as you get the files, it's not that bad.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Yeah. I really do like the look of this one though. It looks appealing.
It does look appealing. This next one that I have it's a GitHub link, and I can't even remember where I found this thing. But this is the I honestly don't even know how to describe this. It's the MRF2 build, and I think it was made by Identidem.design or something, but this is the Corneliusian MFR2,
Whoa,
whatever.
This thing looks crazy too.
Yeah, so this one was based upon the Thilium, which was this guy from Sparkplug had this whole 3D printed whatever camera, and I think I have a link to that one too. And that may be the one that I was talking about was just like a rangefinder style, the Panomicron Thilium. Anyways, it's based on that design. Okay, yeah. This is the one that I was talking about earlier where I was like, this is the Panomicron Thilium 6.9. It's this cool design, but they don't, like, you just can't get it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The MFR2 is based on that. And this one could be interesting in so much that it is, like, it's more of a rangefinder style and less of a modular 3D format printed style.
Now this one seems there's a lot of electronics described in this one,
Oh yeah, distance from measure dual.
which has some complications because you have to get the PCV and stuff. But it makes it kind of sound like it might have some capabilities that the other ones do not have.
Yeah, this is maybe a bit more of a project. Do they have a photo of it?
If you go to the YouTube video, which is linked on the GitHub page, there's a thing that says MRF2 build. You can click on that, and it's a YouTube link.
Oh, that's a YouTube link.
And if you go to the end of the video, you can kind of see what it looks like assembled. It looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, I did see this video. That is neat.
Yeah,
man.
That one seems like such a different thing.
Oh my
with
gosh, look at that bad
electronics.
boy. Okay, that thing's sick.
I feel like you're gonna want to make all of these.
This seems like a lot of freaking work, though. Oh,
yeah, I mean his video's an hour long.
He's putting wires together.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of electronics on that thing.
Oh man, I've never gotten good at the whole tiny electronics thing. I don't even know what that screen would be for. I had to like buy all that stuff. Daniel, this one's probably moving up the list.
Yeah.
We're gonna consider this one. I'm gonna look at it a little closer because it seems maybe less of a. It seems easier to shoot with. It seems like it's a lot more upfront
absolutely.
work. But
I mean, it has a LiDAR distance sensor. It has something that can read lux, so you can has some kind of light meter in it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean this seems way more like a usable camera.
I mean, it feels like something that's fully realized. Okay, I'm gonna dig into this one more. We may end up making both of these, the MFR2 and the Goodman one. We're going to start with the Goodman because that one builds me into a modular Mamiya camera.
That's true.
And this one just seems like a good time.
Yeah. I'm down for this. I know how to do electronics.
Yeah, boy. And it's like, I ain't scared. I run on electronics. All right. We don't need to talk about the Thulium 6.9 because that's basically what the MRF2 is based on. And then this last one that I have is one off of Thingsverse, which is the 2 stops over 3D printed camera. And
sounds like they're not very good at exposure.
Yeah, not very good at exposure. And this one is it's a 645 or a 6.9, and it's got like a number of different files. I couldn't find like too much on this one. This guy was using Kimura lenses, which seems fine, but I'm maybe more inclined to go with one that uses the press lenses because I think the MFR2 also uses press lenses.
Yeah. If you get anything where you can share those lenses with other cameras, that seems like the way to go.
That would be the ideal situation. It's like if we're 3D printing a bunch of options, aligning the lens mount would be ideal. So I think that's where I landed is the MFR2 and the Dora Goodman cameras.
They seem like good choices to me.
Yeah. So that's
I do like that camera dactyl one just because I think it looks cool.
The camera dactyl one looks really cool. It requires a film back.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm fine with people like paying for their work. So like, I'm not have a problem buying the print for $55 or whatever. And I think it also uses press fittings. It's just mostly the, not fittings, press lenses. It's mostly the film back thing.
Yeah, you want to be able to 3D print the whole camera.
Yeah, I want the whole camera to be 3D printed.
Yeah,
except the lens. Sense. But maybe that's the third one, right?
Yeah.
And just have a bunch of them.
Yeah, just have a bunch of them. Have a third medium format camera.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The camera dactyl one actually reminds me of those Nikon Nikkor somethings. You know what I'm talking about? You don't know what I'm talking about.
No clue.
Like Nikonos. It's the waterproof
film
cameras.
You mentioned that last a couple weeks ago.
I've been diving into waterproof film cameras, and I'm 100% buying one, and that's going to be like a future episode in which we talk about all the different options for Lucas's future waterproof film camera.
Love that idea.
But the
3D printed one's not going to be waterproof.
No, the Nikonos 5 looks a lot like the camera dactyl.
Interesting.
And boy, do I want one. I just want one so bad. Yeah. First reminds me, Camp Snap needs to come out with a waterproof casing
Yeah,
for
they
the
really should.
Pro Camp.
They really should.
The moment that happens. Anyway, so I think that's everything that I got for these 3D printed cameras. I was going to ask you which one I pick, but
I think you kind of picked.
I kind of picked. What do you think, though?
I like the two you said. I think the MRF2 seems really cool, but it seems way more ambitious because of all the electronics. I think we'd have to order a PCB and stuff, which is all just, I mean, it can be done. It's just kind of a pain. And so I think maybe starting with the Goodman one makes sense. Get your feet wet with that. And then the MRF2 seems like it may be cool as one that's easier to use.
Sweet.
Yep. What are you going to do about the viewfinder thing out of the various options that are available?
I'm going to get a wider lens. I'm going to get a laser, one of those DeWalt laser things.
So you're just going to feel it on the framing?
Yeah. There are some framing pieces that you can print on the Goodman one that will like, here's a plastic thing you stick on top or whatever. And so I'm going to pretty much do that and just kind of range find it. There's one that if you look on the site, it looks like it's like a square, and then it has another one with a target, so you can kind of like hold it up and
like a gun.
Yeah, and have like the back and front.
Can
and
we
just
put
like,
a red dot on it like a gun? I mean, perfect.
It's gonna have a DeWalt laser that is red.
True. That's true.
So I mean, I'm like holding this thing. I mean, I put a stock on a hold it, and I'm pressing the laser.
You might need to be careful where you use that.
Yeah, that might get a little weird, but. Anyways, that's my plan. Oh, you get a bubble level for it.
Oh,
on there,
even better.
That's my idea. Bubble level, DeWalt laser distance measurer, and the back front targeting system. and then that's what I'll do.
I think I've asked you this, but will you be able to develop the medium format film using the stuff you already have?
I don't have a Patterson tank that fits 120.
But I assume you could buy one.
Yes. I may be able to just buy a roll for it that fits it in there. So,
oh, okay. Yeah. But otherwise, you'd be able to develop it at home the same way you develop.
Yeah. I haven't figured out developing of black and white because I don't shoot a ton of black and white. And I don't feel like
you need different chemicals for it.
I don't feel like buying the developer for black and white. It's cheaper. It's just cheaper to develop black and white, even compared to like the C41 process stuff. I just don't shoot a lot of black and white.
Yeah.
But I do have enough black and white film in my fridge now that I probably should just buy some. It's just I go through film so slowly that, I don't know. The last time I bought film, I took the powder mix and I made like a small batch of the developer. Yeah. Instead of doing the full thing, I like cut it down by a third so that I can like get through that for enough whatevers and then, discharge it.
Right.
Actually, it's all just sitting in my garage. I haven't even like taken it to a place to properly dispose it, but that way it's not like going bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, that's the biggest thing is like, oh yeah, if you shoot a ton of film, you can like, it's like 10 cents a photo to develop it yourself compared to like $1 a photo or 50 cents a photo for someone else to develop and scan it. But if you aren't churning through the developer, it'll go bad in 3 to 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
And assuming you store it properly, it could go bad even faster than that. And so it's like, you like know like how much time to add, and then if it's been 4 months, it's like to like freaking strip test it and all this sort of stuff. And so it gets tricky, and that's my concern with black and white developer. It's like I'm gonna spend all this money on black and white developer, and then it's just gonna go bad even faster because now I'm splitting between C41 and black and white. Anyway, black and white developer is a whole thing, Daniel, because you can cross process them in a way that you can't. Like if it's color, you got to use C40. Like what does it say on the back? C41. All right, cool. We're doing that for color. With black and white film, you can be like. Here's like 4 or 5 different developers, and all of them are compatible with like HP5 or Tri-Rect or whatever you're going to shoot, right? And then you can kind of like mix and match to change the amount of like contrast and grain and blah, 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 blah. And so if you're like really into black and white, getting into black and white film photography is like a whole world. And I'm not into black and white enough to care enough to do it.
To me, it's like black and white is a occasional novelty, but I don't really get that into shooting it. Some people love it, but it's just not really my thing.
It's a lifestyle for sure. I just love, like, photos are all about contrast, right? And I love color contrast so much more than black and white. And I get like the point of black and white and how it's creative in its own way and like dealing with sun and harsh light, and you can do things in black and white in times of days that you can't really do with color.
Yeah.
But man, I just love the color. and I love color film.
Yeah.
It has that. It's just, I don't know. So I guess for this, I'll get like whatever color 120. The Porta 120 would be really, man, it's gonna be so freaking expensive. How much do you think Porta 400 in 120 cost?
I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start. You said you think a couple dollars a shot, maybe?
Upon delivery, like after it's been scanned and all that sort of stuff. Okay, here's a 5-pack on B&H for $80.
And how many shots are in a roll of that? Would it be like 16?
So for what we're doing,
17?
we're going to be on a 6.9. So that's if it's 120, so it's a 6, and then it's wider. It's wider.
Okay.
How many shots? 120 for 6 by 9. 8 exposures.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're
So 16 on a 6.45. 8.
but at the 6.9, and so that $80 is for a 5-pack. So you're getting 40 shots for your $80.
Yeah. So $16 a roll, and you get 8 shots. So
that's $2 each, man.
$2
before developing
a shot, and then developing is going to be. I mean, you take it anywhere, they're going to charge you whatever, $10 to develop it and $10 to scan it. So, $20 divided by 8 and $2.50. So it's $5 a shot.
I honestly don't think it's that big of a problem because I don't think you're going to be taking that many shots with the camera like this. And
No.
and that is probably the top end of expensive film for these, right?
Yes. Yeah. Porta 400 for sure.
So you could get some cheaper film to
Mm-hmm.
learn the ropes, and then maybe you shoot some on that. But it just seems like, sure, if you were wanting to take it out and shoot 200 pictures, that would be really expensive. But this is probably going to be something that you just occasionally take a couple of photos with. Not that big of a deal.
I love Porta 400. It looks so freaking good. If I was going to shoot that, I would want to shoot it on an actual camera.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're shooting HP5, a roll of that is $11.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 50 cents cheaper per shot. Eastman 200 is $40 for a 5-pack.
Literally, I mean, it's $1.
Yeah,
That's $1 of shot.
Dollar shot. It's half the cost.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can get it for cheaper.
Yeah.
But even still, so
Not going to be as cheap as shooting on regular film. That's for sure. Like 35 millimeter.
yeah, I mean it's like double or whatever. I think an equivalent roll of Kodak if that's what's for $8 versus $6 or $7. It's not really that much more expensive.
It does seem like developing yourself may be the way to go, just because you're paying a lot for somebody else to develop it since they charge you per roll.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, maybe it'd be cheaper for you.
Yeah. Like right now I have 3 rolls I need to develop. And so it's just, I'll just do them all at once and work through the developer. But yeah, for this, I mean, it looks like you're spending maybe $2 more for a roll of 120.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that you're getting 8 shots instead of 35 shots.
Yeah.
Or for half frame, 72 shots.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing with the Pentax 17, man, is it makes film a lot cheaper.
Yeah. I mean, that's what, if I was shooting film, I would want a half frame camera for that reason.
But man, I've been wanting, shooting on medium format, I'm so excited about because it the grain is so much finer. And I think that if you have a really good lens and a good camera to capture and you can get the focus and there's no light bleed and all this sort of stuff, the effective resolution and look off of a medium format film camera, I think can supersede that of a lot of 35 millimeter digital cameras.
That'll be interesting to see.
So, and not on our 3D printed DeWalt laser monstrosity.
But that's kind of a proof of concept for you to dip your toe in.
This one's going to be all vibes all the time.
All vibes.
So I'll send you some files. I'm pretty excited about 3D printing this and shooting with it.
I think it'd be good.
One thing I found when I was getting into the world of homemade cameras, you're familiar with pinhole cameras?
Yeah.
And how they work?
I understand the concept.
So you have some sort of light proof container.
Mm-hmm.
You punch a hole in it, and then you use camera math to determine how long the exposure is going to be.
Right.
Which I think everyone should do. I think if you're learning photography and how to use a camera, you should have to make a pinhole camera.
That's very elitist of you.
Just think about it. Just think about it. You have someone who's like, "Hey, I want to learn to take photos and shoot these events. You're like, great. We're going to make a pinhole camera.
Yeah, your first step is to carve this out of a block of wood, use cardboard,
I mean,
something.
You can use a freaking tin can. I watched a video of someone who made one out of a paint can. But it's like, the distance from the lens, the pinhole to the back is your focal length.
Mm-hmm.
You take the diameter of the hole, which is your aperture, and then now you know the f-stop, and then you know the speed of the film, you know the f-stop, you can calculate the shutter speed for proper exposure.
So as a true photographer, when was the last time you made a pinhole
I have
camera?
never made a pinhole camera.
Maybe you should do that before we 3D print a medium format camera.
Maybe I should.
I bet you can 3D print a pinhole camera.
The problem with 3D print of doing a pinhole camera is that I have to go buy sheet film. I don't want to deal with it.
Make one that uses a medium format film back.
Genius. So anyways, what I've learned is that there's a world out there of luxury wooden pinhole cameras.
Ooh, fancy.
Which you can spend thousands of dollars on a luxury pinhole camera.
It's like made by a Japanese craftsman or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep. For real, Google luxury wood pinhole camera. Some of the things that you will find are incredible.
You think that stuff like that is mostly a shelf display item? Because that would be my guess.
Maybe. Or maybe you're like bringing it with you and you just really love pinhole photography.
You take that on your African safari.
Yeah, it's like, how else are you going to get the equivalent f-stop of like f200?
That's true.
And you just really want to shoot 3-hour exposures.
Mm-hmm.
How else are you going to do it?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Similar to telescope photography that we talked about a few weeks ago. This is a whole world.
I believe that. I definitely believe that.
Yep.
Is that a world that you want to get into?
Are you asking me if I want a luxury pinhole camera
Yes.
that's made out of wood
Yes.
and is exquisitely stained? Yes, Daniel. Yes, I do.
Absolutely. If you'd like to support the Camera Gear podcast, you can subscribe to us on Patreon. It's only $3 a month, and you'll get early access to episodes, longer pre-shows, and occasional bonus content like written reviews of gear or maybe some photos we've taken on one of our recent adventures. This really does help us pay the bills and keeps this show running, and we'd love to have your support. You can find out more at patreon.com/cameragearpodcast, or there's also a link in the description for this episode. Thanks for listening, and now back to the show.
You can describe these things as artisan.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so we've been talking about medium format, and we kind of touched on full frame equivalency.
Right.
And, in like traditional terms, we're typically talking about like micro four thirds or APS-C or full frame. But APS-C and full frame, both 3x2, generally speaking.
Sure.
So 1.5, 1.6 if you're on a Canon. Pretty standard crop factor numbers to think about.
Well, I mean, that crop factor and when you say 3x2 are different. Those are not the same.
What I mean
right?
is that if you have two rectangles that are a format of a 3x2 aspect ratio,
yes,
then you scale them by 1.5, they're going to be the same aspect ratio. And so considering the image circle and like you draw a round circle around that rectangle, it kind of scales. And so the biggest 3x2 rectangle that you could fit into an image circle compared to the biggest rectangle you could fit with like a perfectly square, like 1x1 is different.
Okay.
Right. And so it's like what is whenever we're talking about crops, it's like, okay, I shot a 35 millimeter film or sensor exposure on a 50 millimeter lens, and then I made the sensor smaller. It's like, but I didn't move any farther from the subject. It's literally like you're cropping in on the image.
Yeah.
And
like shooting with APS-C on a full frame lens or whatever.
Right. And like that, it kind of falls up, that metaphor kind of falls apart when you start changing the shape of the
Well, I mean, it's
film.
not really a metaphor. It's basically just we've all we use full frame equivalency as a way to compare different things, and everybody kind of uses that as a frame of reference, but that frame of reference doesn't make the same sense if the aspect ratio of the sensor is different.
Right. Like micro four thirds is 4x3. 4433 medium format, which is most digital medium format sensors, are 4x3. And so they're taller. They aren't like, it's a different.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a 2 or a 0.71 crop factor.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, but also you kind of have to think about it as, the width, and then are you getting more or less? Like,
which is why you were
range.
talking about like horizontal angle earlier.
Right, exactly. And it's almost like we should be talking about like image circle size to compare sensor sizes instead of like just crop factors, because it gets a little weird whenever you're starting to try to convert things like medium format or large format into numbers that we understand.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the tricky part, I think, as I'm learning, as getting into different formats that are not just like APS-C or full frame. It's like, oh yeah, here's a 63 millimeter f 4.5. I don't know how wide that is.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know what that's actually, what was that going to feel like when you have it on a camera?
Like, how fast is that really? And I think a lot of this stuff, it's like once you like really, you have to like get into it and use it. And that's, I mean, I would say even for full frame stuff, I've never owned a full frame camera. I mean, I've shot on full frame cameras, but I've never like owned one as like my daily, using it day in and day out.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I'm thinking about like shooting, I'm almost always thinking in APS-C terms as far as...
Yeah, it's all like, what is your frame of reference?
Pun intended. And so you kind of like get used to so you have to use it, I think, in order to really start getting a feel for and understanding like, oh yeah, here's a 75 millimeter, blah, blah, blah.
Makes sense.
So I found this, I pulled some, standard crop factors in from this website. Now it's like points of focus or something. I think there's a lot of tools out there, but it's like, medium format, like a 645 has like a 0.6 ish crop factor. 6x9 is like a 0.43 times crop factor, but it's like way wider, so it's not really exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
I bring all of this up because I want to talk about something that we talked about maybe a year ago. And it was this Kickstarter for this Smartflex large format 4x5 camera.
Okay. That does sound vaguely familiar. I feel like we have talked about that in an episode.
Right. And we're like, we should come back to this because it's this like wild kind of 3D printed, well, actually 3D printed large format camera. And I was like, it's been a year. It's been like a whole year.
What happened to this Kickstarter?
Yeah, where are we on this? Can I just like go buy one? Is it out there? How are they doing? Have people used it? All this sort of thing. And so I went back and kind of took a dive on the Smartflex LF 4.5, and I wanted to talk about it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So this is whenever I started reading this, I immediately thought, oh, it's like a 645. That's what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like looking at crop factors and trying to figure out like how fast these lenses are and whatever. And then I was like, oh no, I'm like super off right now. This is a 4x5, as in 4 inches by 5 inches.
And what is that in millimeters?
It's 101.6 by 127.
Pretty big.
It's pretty big. I mean, the 6x9 medium format stuff that we were talking about is 60 by 90.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing is
substantially larger than that.
It is substantially larger. I guess if you're talking about like a 645, this is double in size and length and width.
Crazy.
It's enormous.
Yeah. So it's like if it's double the size and length and width, it's 4 times the center area of that.
Yeah, for sure. So the guy that designed this, which has a name and it's from China in Shenzhen, and I feel like if I try to say the name, I'm going to butcher it, which has never stopped me before.
Yeah,
so it's
here we go.
Hua Tongzhang, maybe.
Yeah, seems right.
Close enough. Hopefully. Anyways, really into large format. Wanted to make a camera because of dealing with like making these things out of wood or dealing with old large format. Large format is just, this is another one of those like whole worlds of photography where it seems like most consumer related photography stuff has really gone the way of like medium format or 35 millimeter. And people who have large format are more of the kind who would be inclined to make a pinhole camera because it feels like a lot of the large format world is so manual. Of like, we're going to set up this thing and like I'm putting in this sheet and then like doing the exposure and taking the sheet out and putting in another sheet. And like this thing has to lie flat and I'm going to build this thing out of wood. And so this guy was inspired to like make his own, purchasable, consumable, whatever format system, large format system. And they tried to make it out of wood. They tried to make it all other things. They landed on 3D printed material because it's like the easiest way to build something that's
it's going to be
sustainable and
this is going to be a pretty low volume product. So 3D printing probably makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And so they like designed a camera, and like while they were designing the camera, they tried to make it work with a Pentax SMC 6.7 like 165 f2.8 lens, and like couldn't get any of that stuff to work, and so they ended up making their own lens.
Wow!
Like designed a lens and got it manufacturers, and
they really bit off a lot. This whole project.
So this thing comes with a 178 f2.5 EDMC, whatever that stands for, lens. It's like wild. It just comes with a lens. That's the full frame equivalent of about 50 millimeters at 0.7.
Wow. So, and how does depth of field, I guess that's what the depth of field, that's what you're saying, is that the depth of field is similar to like 0.7 on a full frame.
Yeah.
Wow.
Super razor thin.
Yeah.
One of the things I didn't like about the Pentax lens that they were trying to make work was that it was just too sharp.
Too sharp.
It seems that the people that designed this lens have a certain look that they like, which I would describe as dreamy. It reminds me of
a lot of character in this lens.
Rob Thomas in his show Veronica Mars famously recorded the dream sequences by rubbing Vaseline on the lens.
We talked about that in one of the first episodes of this podcast.
Yep, it has a lot of that feel to it.
Hopefully not feel
on purpose. Hopefully not. Hopefully not feel. It's very, very dreamy, very soft.
Interesting.
But if you've ever shot on like one of those f.95 $100 lenses that you can buy off Amazon, and you're like, wow, this thing doesn't actually look even legible until I stop it down to f5.6. It kind of has that feeling.
Yeah, makes sense.
But I mean,
it makes sense why they made the aperture so wide then.
It's f.7. Yeah. So anyway, that's all still very, very cool. So that's it. Here's a 3D printed 6-foot or 4.5 camera. Thing's enormous. It's like so wild. And the Kickstarter basically worked out. It was funded. They shipped it. And you could pretty much go and buy this thing. I think they'll sell it to you for like 5,000 yen or so, or 50,000 yen or something.
That's a big difference.
I think it's like $3,000.
Okay, it's got to be more like 50,000 yen then.
Yeah.
Size wise, I don't have dimensions in front of me, but I mean, this looks about like if you had, let's say, like a paperback book, and you stacked maybe like 4 of them together. It's a cube, and I'd say it's about that size. Does that seem about right to you? Like just to give people a frame of reference. Like it's much larger than a normal camera, but it's not like comically large.
It's not comically large. It's not like the 8x10 that they're currently prototyping. Which
is that 8x10 inch film?
Yes. Which
that's like a sheet of paper.
If you're wondering, like
a sheet of American paper is 8.5 by 11.
My 12.9 inch iPad is about the size of a clipboard, which is about the size of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So if you imagined the film being the size of a 12.9 inch iPad, and then that's the back plate of the camera, and then building the camera around it, that's how big the 8x10 is.
And I mean, is that what I'm seeing in this picture that you have here?
There's an amazing photo on their Instagram of this guy holding the camera and looking through a quote-unquote waist-level viewfinder. And it looks like he's holding a refrigerator.
Not, I mean, not when we say a refrigerator, not a full,
I'm
not a
joking,
full size,
but-
but no, it is huge though. I mean,
His arms are fully extended, and he's holding this camera, and then he has his neck is like
Yeah.
slightly looking down, and it's like he's trying to even just with his arms fully extended peer over to look into.
I mean, this legit looks like he's carrying something like a large microwave or a 3D printer or something like that. Like it is about the size of that.
That's the 8x10.
Yes.
The 4x5 is it's still kind of hilariously big whenever you consider just like cameras, but you know, like your normal like a medium format film camera is kind of big. This thing just makes a joke out of all those.
Yeah.
It's so freaking huge, but it's kind of cool. Like, are you going to shoot 4x5, right? Like, so the way that you shoot these things is like you have to like get the film and you have to put it onto the back and like make sure it's fully flat, and you like slide it into the thing. And they designed this particular camera so that it's like has a few different operating modes of like here's the tension and here's the spring, and depending upon which you set to which of these three settings will result in this shutter speed. And like you set the f-stop on the lens, but it's like, you know, here's the effective shutter speed based upon, you know, like which of these two switches you do. And then so like you set those things up, and you set your exposure, and then like you press the button and it like drops the shutter, and then you like re-crank it back up and blah blah blah. And it's just like a whole thing. It's like a whole thing.
That sounds pretty involved.
Yeah, it is pretty involved, but that's like large format. You know. The other thing that they did, okay, I actually found the price here. Yeah, so it's like $3,400 after the campaign and $2,900 on the Kickstarter. But the Kickstarter was like a year ago. The other thing that they did is they have a DOF adapter for this bad boy.
What does that mean?
Do you remember when we talked about, what was it, 28 years later, and how they shot it on iPhones?
Yes.
And what's the name of that company? Beast Grip?
Oh, yeah.
Made a DOF adapter, which was kind of like a speed booster in a way for iPhones.
But it lets you use like EF lenses.
It let them use EF lenses, or for the one they made specifically for the movie was PL lenses. But it basically makes it so that you can get the full image. So you're not just like shooting a crop. It's not like, you know, oh, I put an adapter for this lens and I'm like cropping in on the lens. You're getting the full 4x5, or in this case, a full 4x5 frame, but it's a DOF adapter for your phone.
Wow.
And so it goes onto the top of camera where the waist level viewfinder would go, and then you set your phone on top of it, and then you can see the full range of it, and then you shoot the photo with your phone. And so it's like you'll set the whole exposure, you get the look that you want, and then you take a picture through the system with your phone.
Wow.
It's kind of.
What do you think about that?
I think it's kind of cool, honestly. I mean, if you're shooting 4x5, it's gonna be really expensive.
Yeah.
And it's like a whole thing. And
This
so
would maybe let you enjoy the camera more.
Yeah, it would let you enjoy the camera a little more. And so it's kind of weird, but it's kind of cool. And so you can shoot 4x5 film. You can shoot with your phone with this like DOF adapter thing. And you can also shoot with Insta360 film, instant film.
When you said Insta360, but you mean Instax?
I said the wrong thing. You're right. Instax film. You can shoot with Fuji Instax film.
That's cool.
And so the back is different. It is like, if you think of the Instax wide, it is 4x5. And so is
it the same size?
Yeah.
It's like 106 by 84.
How big
right?
is Instax wide film?
I think it's smaller.
300 by 400. It's 108 by 86. So it's 4.25 by 3.39. It is, you're right, it's smaller. It's still like the same.
It's pretty big, but it's smaller than the
little smaller, you know. And that includes like the white paper around it, I think. But it has like so Instax, like the back that they have to mount on this thing has a different depth to it compared to the 4x5 sheets.
Oh, to adjust like the crop factor? Is that why
it's just like focal plane.
Oh, okay.
It's a different size film and how the back's whatever. It's just like a different focal plane.
Okay.
And so they have this dual layer focal plane situation in this camera. And what it effectively means is that whenever you're shooting with their not built-in, but their 178 lens that they make for this thing on the Instax back, you can't focus to infinity.
Huh. Kind of a problem.
Yep. So they basically what it is like with the size of this thing that they designed. In order to get to infinity, you need 42 millimeters of clearance between the lens and the board, right? And so in order to get to infinity, you need at least 210 millimeters of focal length. And so the lens that they made, the 178,
not quite big enough,
isn't long enough.
Yeah.
So you have to swap out with a different lens and put
So
a
few
minimum
compromises there.
Yeah, so minimum 210 millimeter lens that the back of the lens doesn't go into the body more than 42 millimeters.
Yeah.
Will then allow you to shoot to
Wow.
infinity.
Yeah, that's a lot of trade-offs.
Right. It's like it's all possible. You just have to like find the right lens for the thing. But like, it just feels all very 4x5.
Yeah.
Right. It's like go get your ruler because you're shooting 4x5.
Yeah. Get your tape measure out. Get your DeWalt laser level.
Exactly. But you can do it, and so it's like super cool that you can shoot freaking Instax film on this ginormous thing. You can shoot with your phone.
That's cool.
You can shoot 4x5 sheet film. And it's like, it seems like the most flexible version of this kind of system where it's like you want to get into like actual large format. This makes it really approachable because it makes it so that you can shoot and see your photos instantly.
Right.
Which
with the DOF adapter.
Which is really fun. No, I mean like with the Instax film.
Oh, sure.
You can do true 4x5 or you can use your phone.
Yeah.
And if you use your phone, you can shoot video.
Oh, good point. Good point.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Very fun. So, I mean, this thing got like 100 units ordered on Kickstarter.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a low volume product for sure, which is why the 3D printing kind of makes sense.
It shipped. They said it was successful enough that they're making an 8x10 version, which is crazy.
Yep. I assume maybe they'll do more. Like you can get more of these rather than just the 100 they made for Kickstarter, right?
Yeah, you can. I think you can buy one and they'll make it for you. It'll cost you, $3,400 or 50,000 yen or something.
Well, that's good. I like seeing successful Kickstarters. Like it's neat to come back to this and see that.
And whenever you buy it, they give you some sheets of CineStill 400 because they like helped back or whatever I make this thing.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But the CineStill 400 is a little like I watched a video that someone made on this thing, and I think they shot a lot of like the A-roll stuff with a phone with the DOF adapter, which was super fun.
That is fun.
But the CineStill 400 that they're making that ship with this is too thin, and so it doesn't lay flat properly, and so they're advising to use removable, not the non-removable, but removable 3M double-sided tape in order to get it fully flat, because if you get any sort of waves or bumps,
you can get a weird photo.
Any sort of bending in the film, you'll lose focus.
Yeah. That's a weird compromise.
Any slight disruption in this 4" by 5" square, because you're shooting at f1 equivalent or whatever, it will result in loss of focus.
It's kind of a pain.
Yeah, that's 4x5 world.
Yeah,
I mean you're just
you're in 4x5 world.
If you're imagining a piece of film that's the size of a sheet of paper, and you're like, well, I hope there's no wrinkles in it when I take this photo.
Yeah. Wow.
Wild. Yeah, they put a built-in magnifier to help focus on this thing, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it weighs about 2 kilograms.
So about 5 pounds. 4.5 pounds.
And that was one of the driving factors for the 3D printing as the option. One, probably for production reasons, but two, it makes it a bit lighter, making it out of a polymer. So
cool. I like that this exists.
Yep.
I'm not going to buy one, but I like that it exists.
I think that it has a waist level viewfinder and a eye level viewfinder. And the eye level viewfinder looks absolutely absurd.
It looks like a microscope.
Yeah, if you want to be cool with this thing, you got to use the waist level.
Yeah,
obviously.
Especially if you get the 8x10. Once that comes out, you definitely have to use the waist level.
Just set it on a table and stand
Yep.
on like a step stool so you can see down it.
Yep.
I want one of these.
I was wondering if you did.
Yeah, I want one. I just want one. I think
it seems like wildly impractical to use, but it would be a cool thing to own.
It's so interesting. Like if I had $3,500 lying around, I would save it and wait until I had $5,500 and then buy a GFX 100 RF.
Mm-hmm.
But after I did that, if I then once again had $3,500 lying around, I'd consider this.
I don't know. I think the medium format film stuff is more interesting because it seems like you know it's a little bit cheaper. You don't have as many of these problems, but you're still doing something that most people don't shoot.
This thing is so niche. There was 120 backers for this project.
Yeah, and that was probably a successful Kickstarter for them.
Oh yeah, they wanted to make. I'm looking at this thing now, and it's like they wanted 4,600 yen or something, and they got 51,000 yen or whatever. So I mean, yeah. This totally, sorry, I'm looking at that wrong. They wanted 4.8 million yen.
That sounds a little, I was like 4,600 yen.
It's like nothing.
Pocket
It's
change.
Like pocket change. Yeah, 4.8 million yen, and they raised 51.1 million yen.
Okay. So it's like 10 times more than they thought.
Yeah, they 10x their goal, but that also means they were only trying to get 10 backers in order to buy this thing.
That's true.
And they got 120 backers. So there's still love out there for large format film cameras.
Well, that's cool.
And
I like that.
And I think the Smartflex is the most creative approach to it that currently exists. I'm not in the large format world. There's probably a bunch of other options out there that I'm totally missing, and making that broad of a statement is a little ignorant. However, being able to use Instax film or 4x5 film or your phone makes this a lot more approachable in a really, really interesting way. And I think this is like super duper cool.
Yeah, I think so too.
More 3D printed cameras.
More 3D printed cameras. Maybe in some future episode, we'll be able to talk about more 3D printed cameras.
Absolutely. Because this is all just super fun. So I think that's all I got for you today, Daniel.
Yeah.
I just, it's kind of a big 3D printed camera episode.
A lot of medium format, larger camera format things going on.
It's all just so niche. Like, I don't think, I'm sure there's 3D printed there's got to be, right?
Yeah.
A lot of really interesting solutions for like smaller 35 millimeter 3D printed.
It does make a lot of sense for medium format and above because the market is so much smaller and you can't just go out and buy, a camera in that size, maybe for the same price. Whereas 35 millimeter cameras are kind of a dime a dozen. Yeah,
you can, if you want to try 35 mil, you can go buy for $40. You can go find an Auto Boy or a Sure Shot or something. Here's a Himatic. You can just go find one and have some fun, and that's very very approachable.
And you can't really do that with medium format, so the 3D printing makes sense.
I guess even there's Kodak, for 35 millimeter cameras, the half frame cameras that cost $40, right? Medium format is a lot less approachable, especially if you're trying to start getting into it,
right?
And the 3D printed stuff makes it attainable. Now you just have to find or buy a $150 lens, sure, and then find a way to print it. Yeah, and then you can get into it and see if you like it,
and you get a cool project out of it too.
Yeah,
I think it's neat.
It's cool. I like what people are doing out here with all this stuff, and yeah, this was a fun one.
You have to start thinking about your colors.
Oh yeah.
That's it for the show today. Thanks for joining us, and if you liked it, tell a friend so they can check it out too. You can find out more about the show at www.cameragearpodcast.com, and you can find us on Twitter @CameraGearPod. We'll be back with more next week.